And we are back, JTV. Well, you were kind of insulting me there on the panel, but I'm not gonna say I didn't deserve it. I was in fact incorrect in my prediction, and you did steal all my channel points. But it seems as though we've put our channel points for this next upcoming matchup on the same team.
Yeah, I mean, I really just want to see Underdog City play through today until the end. That'd be the most beautiful thing ever. Just seeing all the teams that we don't expect to make it to the championship make it there today, because we all kind of have our scripts written. We all talked about our predictions. We all have what we expect in mind, and our brackets are already busted already for all of us. I just want to state that. But it's really going to come down to this matchup right here that's really going to tell the story going forward, because I am feeling very confident in this Columbia Blue team, but I think, Columbia Navy team, and I think that this Kansas Blue team can definitely come out hot just as well.
Yeah, and like I said before, when I was talking with Philly before our previous match, these two teams have experience with each other. They played just about a week ago today on LAN, and that one, Columbia Navy did come out on top, but Kansas Blue had a bit of a resurgence. They just came off of a super tight series with Oakland, one that had a couple of overtimes and a tight game 5, but they did come out on top. We'll see if we'll have Columbia Navy living up to their name and perhaps being the team to beat today, as immediately pressure here for Chura as he can't get it past that player on Columbia. So taking time is Excelst, and not only does the entire roster of Columbia Navy have experience with Kansas as a team, as Cryptic is going to find the first goal, but Excelst, a player that used to play against KU all the time on Mizzou. So these two teams know each other very, very well, and it's no surprise to see them matched up here.
Absolutely. And when you have rivalries like this that just continuously play out, or I should at least say, it's not just about the teams, it's about the players. A lot of times rivalries come down to the players that are in the units, because a player can move to a different team and they still feel that same grudge, that same mentality, that same, mindset when they go up against those other players. Because even in stuff like RLCS, we're seeing players switching teams, moving around, and it really comes down to, man, there's just this one guy, he's my kryptonite. He slows me down, he really just kills me. And we'll see what kind of happens here in this series. Is there somebody that's going to stand out? Like I said, we got the freshman Sauce. Maybe he's going to be the kryptonite here for Columbia Navy.
And he definitely has been the one to look out for this semester for KU as a whole, but it's going to be a misplay from him, and Excelst, a wide open net for him to shoot on, but nobody connecting. Is a little bit of misplay on the defensive side for Kansas Blue. It's starting to look like what we saw in that last series in Game 1, where Siena Heights is not playing to their fullest ability, so we'll see if we get any more parallels on that side, as Cam up for a double, perhaps. It's going to bounce down. Sauce has a great read. It's over top of Cryptic as well, and a demo means the Spade might have a shot. Instead hits it to the backboard. Chura will equalize as we cross over 2 minutes of gameplay.
Equalizer indeed. It is now 1-1, 2:57 on the clock, and it is beginning to heat up here in the Great Lakes house right now, as both these teams are really starting to bring the action. We'll see who can come out on top though right now, as both these teams are really starting to piece it together.
And oh, that's a big miss from Chura. You saw him make the play on the offensive side, but on defense, he might not be quite as capable as his teammates, as he's definitely been the one to place the question mark so far this year on the Kansas roster. As Cam looking to find the pass, it's Chura on defense, and they are going to take advantage of it this time. Cryptic able to finish it off of the pass. There was a fake there from Excelst. Chura didn't know where the shot was coming from, and Columbia going to take advantage of that one as Cryptic finds a second goal.
We're already starting to see Columbia Navy doing what they do best, and that's creating these team play opportunities. They know where each other are on the field. They're great at communicating that, and that's the outcome that they get, as Cam gets a beautiful save there. Excelst follows it up, just trying to slow down the defenders to the best of their ability right now. Spade trying to put it right back, and it's driven away by Cam.
A solid 50 at the midfield from Chura. He gets faked out by one here as Excel's gonna have 100 boost and all the time in the world to dribble. Spade finally challenges and does a good job at that as Excel does take him out of the game for a moment. Sauce off of the backboard finds the challenge onto Cam. That's a player that you cannot allow to have too much free time on the ball as Sauce and Spade, a rare double commit. Both of those players, two that have a lot of respect for one another on Kansas, so the fact that they are going to commit for the same ball and leave a wide open net behind them is definitely one that you do not want to see, as Cam going to take that opportunity every day of the week.
And if you look currently at the shot distribution going across the board, we have 10 shots on board already for Columbia Navy, in a retrospect of only 5 on the opposite end for Kansas Blues. So we're gonna have to see a little bit more happening on the offensive side for Kansas Blue if they want to get back into this one. We're definitely seeing Columbia Navy starting to put up a little bit more of a wall defensively. They're starting to create some demos and they're moving some players around the field to get the advantage that they want right now.
Sauce putting it into the corner. Excel's flips a little past the ball, but Cryptic will follow it up for him. Now it's Excel's turn as he'll hit it to the backboard. Cam doesn't want to commit as the third man for Columbia, so it's going to be Sauce with the 50. Cam does well to deal with it. Although a misplay defensively for Columbia. They had two players bumping each other, but luckily for them, nobody ready to follow it up for Kansas Blue. Here's the pass mid. Spade gets beat out by Cryptic, so it's Chura that will have to find the touch. Less than a minute to go here in the first game of this best of 7, by the way. The very first best of 7 that we've seen here all season long, and I'm thinking that it might live up to our hopes.
Absolutely. I'm expecting some high-level Rocket League, and that's what we're getting right now. As Columbia Navy tries to get another one just past the defender's hood, Excels puts one in the back of net, and every team member on Columbia Navy has now scored. We have essentially a team hat trick in play.
And Sauce hitting that one maybe a little bit faster than he was expecting to. Chura, with all of the trust in his teammate, did not get ready to go for that one. A Spade, hold on, he might have a chance, but the double touch not gonna go through. That's one that you would normally see him hit. Feels like Columbia Navy might just be throwing this Kansas roster off their A game here as Sauce, a flip reset. He's still trying to play as good as he can, but it will not work out here. 10 seconds to go, and domination here in the first game. 4-1 in favor of Columbia Navy as they look for maybe one more as Cryptic hits it down to the ground. No own goal to be found for Columbia as they take game 1.
Yeah, this was definitely going in the direction that we kind of felt it would. I know you're definitely rooting for your Kansas Blue over there, Jai, I know it, but we always got to look at it as realists at the end of the day. As much as we love these teams, as much as we want to root for these teams that, you know, that we look up to, that we kind of want to see do their thing, it's not always going to play out the way that we want. So we got to be realists at the end of the day. And Columbia Navy is doing exactly what we expected. They have 4 assists on the board. They have 14 shots on goal, and they're holding Kansas to only 7 shots on goal. So they're doubling down on almost every effort and definitely making it look good.
Yeah, this is one of the top rosters in CRL West. You got to remember that, and they are not a team to be reckoned with. I mean, Columbia Navy, they have the namesake Cam Goat. They have got Cryptic and Excelst. All 3 of those players are players that have history in CRL, and I would be amazed if they didn't somehow finish towards the top 4 of CRL West this semester. So they are seriously a strong team to be joining here at the Great Lakes CRL. But they do still have some stiff competition around them. We'll see if Kansas can rebound here as we move on to Forbidden Temple to kick off game number 2.
All right, we have Excelst across from Spade. Spade gets a favorable kickoff, but looks like Cryptic is going to grab hold, puts it up top, gets a reset on it, and Chura meets him up top there. Spade's going to try to kick it back, but Cam Goat finds it at the 50. He's going to try to drive it in. We got a demo by Excelst, and we got a goal to start it out by Cam Goat. Beautiful team setup there by Columbia Navy, doing a great opportunity, separating the field and giving Cam all the space he needed to put that in.
And I think that's the type of shot that people will take for granted that Cam will score, but that is not an easy shot by any means. He puts it up off of the backboard. It's a super tight angle, and he finishes it off. That's something that a lot of players, even in this tournament, would struggle to finish off, despite the fact that it was open. So hats off to Cam for finishing that one as Excelst finds the touch off of the backboard. It's Cryptic up towards Cam. The passing plays are in full effect here for Columbia Navy, although this one won't result in a goal. It's a demo onto the last man. Spade needs a touch here. Will he find it? He will, just at the last second.
It is almost crazy to say that we're less than a minute in and the pace of play has picked up here for Columbia Navy. They're definitely coming out the gate hot right now, and they're putting everything on the table as they are looking to want to seal the deal early in this series.
Cryptic up with all the time in the world. Nobody challenging. Finally, Spade does so. And Cam ready for the resulting 50 as Spade puts it middle. Chura rushing to it. It's kept up in front of the blue net. And Sauce with a card change. I saw him playing in the Dominus yesterday. He started, I believe, in the Fennec in this series, and now he's on to the Octane. So he just can't quite make his mind up. And it won't matter what car you're in if you're getting demoed from behind as Excelst to the backboard. The follow-up left to, oh my, getting faked by Sauce. Now, whether or not it was intentional, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Sauce might have faked on himself a little bit on that one. However, Excelst is up for Cryptic, and Cryptic finds a top shelf. And they are now up Columbia Navy, 2:03:20 on the clock. What a beautiful team play there.
And Sauce left in no man's land on the backboard. All he could do was react, and the shot from Cryptic just too quick for him to deal with, as it's a 2-0 in favor of Columbia Navy. Still a lot of time left here for Kansas, but they're gonna need to find some pressure if they want to bring it back.
Absolutely. They have to find a way to start to bottleneck this defense into a situation that they are not going to feel comfortable, because they are just taking the field and running around right now. Columbia Navy has just been able to have time of possession completely in their favor.
Here's Spade challenging there. He has a little bit of extra boost, but Cam collects the ball, collects the 100, and he's moving forward. It's up for Excel, still taken into the corner where Sauce will accept, getting bumped off of it, but Spade going to fake out the defender as Cam will manage to deal with it though. Sauce turning, immediately getting demoed. It's happened a couple of times now where Columbia may have been getting beat to the ball, but they did not get beaten to the demo, as Sauce trying to take it off of the sidewall, won't be able to land in time, as now it's Cryptic on the backboard. Challenges one, Chura getting beat by Cam, and now we have Excelst with a chance to shoot. Instead plays it low. It's a wide open net for Cryptic, and he's missed it. And that's what I was talking about, JTV. Those are not easy angles for all these players to be hitting, so you can't take it for granted when players like Cam can slot those in.
Absolutely, as Excelst is trying to find a slot of his own, barely missing that one, just shy of the goal. Cam Goat is up, tried to get one, and Spade just tries to clear it away himself. Cryptic staying on it, still on the defensive end for Kansas Blue, as they're just trying to clear it away. Sauce gets on it, and Cryptic is in his face. Sauce gets the demo, however. Spade driving off the back corner, has a little bit of boost left, but runs out. Sauce just trying to keep it alive there into the offensive side there for Kansas Blue, and just enough to give Chura the space and get a goal. It is now 2-1. Kansas Blue finding a way to get back.
Now this is a classic Chura shot. He has the entire net to shoot on and somehow almost misses it. Now, if you saw a lot of Kansas games, you would know that that is a staple of watching Chura play, but luckily for him, this one does bounce in. A minute and a half to go. We're almost at an even game. Kansas still needs one more. Chura's 50, certainly going to help them find that, as Cam a touch off to the left side. It's going to be Chura again, forced to 50. Excelst follow-up, cannot get it past Chura, and I said that Chura was the weakest link here on Kansas, but he sure is leveling up here in the second game. It's going to be Sauce. Does he have a shot? No, it's denied by Cryptic.
As they are just continuing to put the pressure here on Columbia Navy, but is it enough to break that wall one more time and bring it back to a 2-2 score with only 50 seconds remaining? They need to figure something out here. They are just going to let Columbia continue to run away with this series. And remind you, this is a best of 7 for anybody who is watching.
And I'm very confused as to how Cam didn't finish off that goal, but as a representative of Kansas, I guess I should be happy as Excel's trying to find a bump middle. Cam getting demoed at the midfield, so there won't be a follow-up shot. 20 seconds to go, and Colombia just needs to hold on. All they got to do is play possession of the ball and not allow Kansas to get any attacks. But here's Sauce, gets beat by Excels. It's Spade. He takes it up to the backboard, but that's the defender you want back if you're Columbia College. It's a demo onto Cryptic. Chura gonna send it up. Sauce, the player you want to be on the ball. He's taking it low. It's gonna bounce down. If the ball hits the ground, the game is over. Excel's looking to do just that. It's here for Cam. He wants one more touch, perhaps. Spade keeps it up, but a bump will end things off. And Columbia a little bit tighter there in the second game, but instead of dropping it, they do manage to hold on, and it's a 2-0 lead in the series.
Once again, out shooting Kansas Blue 10 shots to 5. Once again, double the amount of shots on goal. They are just continuing to lay on the pressure, not giving Kansas many options, you know, defensively when they get back there. So they are just doing a great job forcing them to continuously fold back defensively and just try to slow them down because the pressure is there. Like I said at the beginning of the game, you saw in the first minute alone, the pace of play was just insurmountable, just even started out. They came out hot, and they just continued to pour it on from there. I didn't even know if Kansas was going to be able to even push it through for one with the way that they were playing, but they did. So maybe that's the mental reset they need, and Kansas can come back here in game 3. Mind you, best of 7, there's a lot of time to kind of finagle. There could be a timeout at any given time. They could take a moment just to really mentally reset and figure out what they need to do. But right now, I think they're at a good spot that is not too far away, and they can easily still come back.
Right, and I think the thing that they need to focus on, right, the one goal that we saw them score was from a demo. Sauce demoed the last man. He had 4 demos that game. However, the combination of Spade and Chura only had 3 combined between the two of them. So we'll have to see Spade and Chura work on those demos, getting the last man out from Columbia Navy. Their individual skill is much too strong for Kansas to stack up individually, so they'll have to take them off the pitch if they want any chance to move forward. It's gonna be Spade off of the sidewall. Takes it up past Excels, but Cryptic going to deal with this first attack. Sauce back to Spade. This is a shooting opportunity. Sauce misses, and that's one that you'd like to have back if you're a fan of Kansas.
Definitely, and you were talking about trying to separate the field, create these holes and all that, but I mean, sign me up. You know, bullet ball is what I'm always here for. If we're talking about demos and we're talking about pushing these guys around to create that separation, remind you, a good bump is probably much better than a demo in most situations because it'll make it so the defender just loses a bunch of unneeded boosts for no reason because they didn't expect it, and we got one laying up in front of goal. Unfortunately, not enough there for Kansas to push it in. Chura still trying to keep it alive, and Cryptic kind of hits it away there into the corner. However, Sauce is there, but not enough. And now it's downfield, no defender in place. Chura trying to get back, but it's not enough. Excels drops it down.
And there it is again. Chura, the last man back. Very difficult play to read, but he just goes a little too quick, whether he was playing the block or trying to find the touch himself. Either way, it is a goal for Excels. Much easier for him to come through with that one, as we'll see immediately off of the kickoff. Columbia wants another one, and they'll find it. A rare misplay from Sauce means that Columbia Navy is up now 2-0 here in game 3.
Have you ever just seen a goal go, like a ball go into the goal, and then you just feel really sad for the other team? Because I really don't know if Kansas Blue has an answer right now for Columbia Navy. They are so fiery right now. They are literally just giving everything. A demo on the field right there. They are giving a little bit of everything all at once, and I just don't know if Kansas Blue can slow them down.
And it's a tough ask to do for sure. Columbia Navy, such a strong team. Here's something going in their favor as it's open for Chura, and this time he'll slot it right down the middle. A beautiful passing play between Chura and Spade. Excels nearly finds the save, but actually ends up doubling it middle, and Chura, maybe that's the combination that you need. You've got this new freshman of Sauce coming in, and he might be the highest level individually, but that Spade-Chura connection, they've got the experience together. They've been playing together for over a year, and maybe that's the combo that Kansas needs to light up.
Definitely, you want to look at that chemistry, and hopefully it'll play out the way that they need to. I mean, we definitely have some teams that are in this conference for Great Lakes that they've been together for a long time. A team like Rochester, two of them have known each other since they were in 5th grade. So when you talk about chemistry, right there is some more chemistry playing out as you were saying it. Spade, Chura, Spade, they're just going to go back and forth with one another, and they are coming back with 3:03 on the clock.
And I think that Chura actually went for the block there onto Cam, but he ended up faking the defender, so that certainly is going to work out for them. Sauce with only 30 points 2 minutes into this game. That might be one of the first times this has ever happened with this roster, but there you go. The Spade and Chura combo starting to wake up in this game. That's something that Kansas is going to need if they want to claw their way back into this series. Never mind.
A beautiful shot there by Columbia Navy. He was like, shh, just calm down there, Jar. I got to show you something real quick. Look at the shiny.
Yep, and Spade unable to make contact with that one. Unfortunate position, but the counterattack, something that you're always going to have to look out for. So we'll see Columbia Navy still staying on top. Sauce looking for a bump, won't be able to find it, and now it's a one-on-one. Spade gets beat again, but Sauce going to just get back in time. So halfway through this game, and Columbia certainly playing a bit of a closer game with Kansas this time, but still showing that they are the big brother at this point. Here's Cam taking it out of the corner, over top of one. Can't get it past Chura though. He'll find the follow-up touch off of the backboard. Cryptic has the read. It's back into the corner. A little awkward here from Columbia. All 3 players in the same spot, yet it nearly works out as the last man for Kansas needs to find a touch, and he will. It's going to be Sauce moving the other way. As Cryptic into the corner, Sauce taking it off as well. There's the musty flick. Chura to the sidewall. He wants one more touch. Cam going to get it instead. So Spade with all the boost. Excelst off of the sidewall, cut off again. Chura chasing down the last man. He found the demo, and that's what I was talking about, JTV. The demos are going to be oh so important here for Kansas if they want to compete.
Absolutely. Ask and you shall receive. Once again, we asked and we got it. And now we have ourselves a game. 3-3-124 on the clock. Which team will come out on top? Will Kansas Blue be able to come back in this series and bring it back to a 2-1? Oh my goodness, almost nailing the back of net and a demo to go with it, but they are saving grace there on the defend. Chura's gonna put it down the field for his teammate. However, Cam is there to block it away.
Sauce unable to make contact here, a minute to go, and this is what you need to see. The demo came through, but it was not enough. Spade wants a touch here, won't be able to find much, so Chura, the last man, takes it into the sky. He's been working on controlling the ball more often, and that 50 will not work out quite for him. Spade to the backboard, finds the touch. Is anyone there? Cam is the one to get in the way.
Excelst with a good clear there. Beautiful save. Staying out it once again and trying to clear it downfield. Sauce tries to put it near goal. It's up top, and Cam is just going to clear it away, but he's met by Spade. It is still on the Columbia Navy side as they're trying to keep the pressure on, and Spade finds the back of net with 17 seconds remaining. Kansas Blue looks like they could possibly be bringing it back.
And that all originated in the corner. Excelst was looking to dribble the ball, and Spade came around, bumped him off, rotated middle, and there it was. He finds the goal, and I believe this is actually the first lead that we've seen from Kansas Blue, but it might not last long. Cryptic over to Excelst. He wants to end it here. It'll go into the corner. Sauce gets bumped off. If the ball hits the ground now, the game is over, and Kansas has taken one to Columbia Navy. However, Cryptic doesn't want it to happen, and it hits the floor. Kansas Blue showing that there is some life as they finally come away with a game, taking 1-2 Columbia Navy, the one that we all thought would be the best team here today.
All right, so do this with me real quick, Jar. Inhale. Exhale. A sigh of relief for Kansas Blue, bringing it back in this one. Great job on that one. Kansas Blue finding a way to really start getting their team plays activating and finding a way to slow down Columbia Navy. They were only able to get 8 shots on goal. However, on the flip side, Kansas Blue finally able to outshoot Columbia. 9 shots on goal, but able to get 4 on the back of net. And that's what you want to see right now if you're Kansas Blue. Find ways to slow down and eliminate those defenders, because you're definitely not wanting to go home right now if you're Kansas Blue. You want to show that you are a team that wants to just keep on competing, and we've seen them once again show that they are here to stay.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they would have lost this game and then won it in Game 4, it might have been too little too late, right? Trying to reverse sweep Columbia Navy, that's a whole other task that we don't even have time to talk about here. But the thing is, if you take Game 3, now you've got a chance to claw your way back into this series. So in reality, it is still possible for Kansas Blue to bring it in, bring the fight, bring those demos and bumps that we were talking about. And I think that they do have a serious chance at taking out Columbia Navy as we're heading into the 4th game. If Columbia takes this one, however, we still are going to find them at match point.
Absolutely. These are the type of series that you want to be in the booth, because this is the type of games that really, like I say, on any given day, any player can make any outcome happen in Rocket League. You could be a platinum for all I care. The thing is, all it takes is that one time that you do that one thing you've been practicing on 100, 1,000, a million hours, it seems like, and you finally get it down in game, and it happens on the big screen, and you just feel elevated to a point where your teammates feel it themselves, and it brings everybody to that horizon point where you want to be, and you guys can just take it home to the sunset. And we'll see if that can happen here. Has Kansas found that trail home, or have they found that trail to the championship?
Time will tell. Columbia Navy, I'm sure, going to be looking to start right back where they left off, as we are finally going to get this one underway. Game 4 here of the semifinals underway.
And Spade gets the favorable kickoff. However, it's put on Cryptic's hood. He's going to pass it over towards Excel's, but Chura grabs it and slows it down. Once again, we're already seeing Kansas Blue trying to eliminate those team plays for Columbia Navy. Spade gets demoed, gets downfield, gets demoed again. The guy has barely even been on the field for 20 seconds. He's already been removed twice.
And Cryptic barely going to get back to save that one from Chura, as he'll have to send it away again. Chura wants to follow it up, but Cam just too quick to it. Cryptic finds a bump and a demo, but Sauce respawning in time to get in the way of Excelst. He wants to pass it back, but nobody ready for it. Instead, it's going to be him again, as an awkward 50 actually works out. Chura doing a great job as the last man on defense there, something that I called out earlier, that he might not be able to live up to those expectations, and he certainly has answered the call here in this series. As he saves it again, it's Excelst. The shot is going to go through. This time it was Sauce that was caught flat-footed in net. Chura found the first save, but it made it very difficult for anybody else on Kansas to follow, as Columbia going to strike first here in Game 4.
A beautiful play there for Columbia Navy. Once again, getting team plays in action. Spade coming right back, and it is now 1-1. I barely even got to speak for 2 seconds, and Kansas Blue is right back in the game.
And that is something you are happy to see if you're rooting for Kansas, because that cuts off Columbia's momentum right away, right? We just came away with that win, Kansas did, and then we started to see Columbia Navy push back against it, find the first goal, and maybe they thought they were going to run away with it again. However, That is going to be a play that will bring them back into it. Sauce nearly gets it past Excelst, but won't be able to do so. Cam out forward to Excelst again. Cryptic is going to be the one to accept this one, as now Sauce with all the time in the world and another uncharacteristic miss. And Sauce might not be playing to his best ability today, yet somehow Kansas as a whole has still been looking like a very threatening team.
Well, you talk about that chemistry between Spade and Chura, and maybe that is what's really helping keep it together right now. Just knowing that last year that they were able to string things together and really make some things happen, adding that extra unit, even though he might be playing a little off right now, they're still on, and they can still get him folded in to make some plays where they need to. It's just gonna maybe take a little bit of time. Maybe there's a little bit of lull in the game right now, and they're just struggling a little bit to find a way to get him involved in the action. And as I say that, Cryptic pops it in the back of net on a stiff 50 there and gets it just past Chura. Columbia Navy up 2-1.
The defense for Kansas there, very questionable. Not sure what they were expecting to happen, but if you give Columbia that much time in front of your own net, something's bound to go wrong, and that is exactly what went through as Spade looking to find a pass forward. Chura going to keep it out as he's low on boost. It's Spade to follow it instead as it'll bounce forward. Here's Sauce and Cam racing to the ball. Cam beats him by a mile as we cross the halfway point. Cryptic wants to send this one forward. Spade finds a double touch though, and Chura, he's looking for the demo. This is what we were looking for. Cam somehow avoids it and gets the squishy save.
That is top level plays right there, and it explains to us why this Columbia Navy team is so feared throughout collegiate Rocket League right now. Being a top 3 world competitor last year, this is what we want to see while they're on the field.
Yeah, they have been incredible on the solo level, and now we're seeing them compete on the team level as well. Those passing plays have been so strong, but now the defense having to show its strengths here, as Kansas had a couple of shot opportunities that did not work out in their favor. Cam, there's that passing I was talking about. Spade going to be forced to make the stop. Cryptic to the backboard. Chura, can he make the read? He can't, but luckily for him, Excel's shot will not be on target. However, Kansas as a whole still needs to find a goal here in this next minute and 10 seconds, and it's going to be left to be more difficult as the demo comes through. Sauce the other way. He just has to get one middle. It will not be on target. Spade now looking for his chance. Again, it goes sailing in front of the goal, and nobody from Kansas is willing to commit.
They definitely have to add some more pressure right now. They cannot just give the field to Columbia and allow them to reign supreme, because right now they are down 1 in this series, and if they lose this one, it is approaching game point.
And here we see Cam looking to pressure it forward. Wants the demo, won't find it. 30 seconds to go, and Kansas needs to make a move now. Here it is. Chura backflips. Cam doing a great job of just finding a touch. A demo comes through from Excelst. However, the defense left a little awkward here on the side of Columbia. Sauce unable to make the touch, and those are the type of plays he needs to be making for this Kansas roster to see any success. Cam, 50, back to Chura. Can he clutch up? It's on target, but Cryptic keeps it out. Now, last second opportunities from Kansas. It's gonna have to be Chura to keep it up, and he will not be able to do so. Columbia Navy to match point.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really say I didn't tell you so. We were feeling that this was going to be the way, and this is the way that it is going right now. Columbia Navy up 3-1 right now in this series. Kansas Blue had a good game, but unfortunately couldn't come back the same. And now, right now, it really just comes down to this next matchup. Do you think Kansas Blue has enough to turn it around and bring it back to even a potential game 6, let alone, I mean, oh my goodness, there's just so much going on right now. You know, do they have what it takes?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have as much faith in this Kansas roster as anybody does, but the fact of the matter is Columbia Navy is looking as good as ever, and that is a team that is not going to be easy to take 3 games in a row against. So I got a feeling that Columbia should be able to hold on to this one, but who knows what's going to happen moving forward. If Sauce maybe starts to perform to the level that we would expect of him, maybe Kansas can wake up. As we've seen, Chura maybe picking up some of the slack there is what would be rated the 3rd best player at KU. He's been playing a fantastic series as a whole. As we move on into Game 5, this is going to be the one to decide the future of the series.
And once again, Spade has been on so many kickoffs throughout this series. A lot of them going in favor of Kansas Blue, but Columbia generally just takes it right back right away, and they've been able to score some quick goals out the gate as they are trying to do so once again. Excel's just keeping the pressure on, tries to push it back to Cam, and it gets denied.
As we'll see, Cryptic keeping the pressure on this orange side. Chura in an awkward spot, but does flip out of it. Excels to the dunk. Will land straight to Sauce, and there's the dominance I was talking about earlier, JTV. He switched cars again. Sauce clearly not feeling himself today as he switched cars a couple of different times. But Spade looking to send it forward. Chura, the pass back. It's almost there. Sauce can't finalize it, but Chura with some time on the sidewall. He's going to opt to take it slow. Excels a free ball after that touch. Chura finds the demo onto the last man. Cam, the player you want to see on that ball, though, if you're Columbia Navy, and he does well to deal with it.
Sauce tries to set it up for Chura, but it isn't enough as Excels is just getting a little bit of everywhere all at once right now. Gets pushed down by Spade. Cryptic stays up on it, gets pushed back by Sauce towards midfield. Chura, everyone is getting involved right now from both teams as Cam tries to get a shot on goal. Denied there by Sauce. Gets pushed right back in front of goal by Cryptic. So much action happening here on the Columbia Navy side as now it is back on the defensive.
Here's Cam, though. The counter-attack, it's just off target, but the double touch is there. You can't give him any space whatsoever as Chura not quick enough to it, and Spade doesn't expect that follow-up. It would have been savable, but the follow-up was too quick from Cam, and it's a 1-0 lead to start things off here in Game 5.
Cryptic shooting it up, waiting for one of his teammates to get there. Sauce just kind of playing the defensive there, just letting it fall down lazily. Sauce pushes it out towards his teammate. A little bit of miscommunication there. I thought that looked a little bit like a pass, but he stayed on top of it, and his teammate thought the same. Sauce just going to try to drive it downfield. Cryptic slowing it down, staying on top of it. There's a demo by Sauce. Almost created an opportunity there for Kansas Blue.
Or just didn't quite have the boost to make it a real threat. As here goes Excelst off of the sidewall. He has the touch. It's to the backboard. Easy control opportunity for Sauce, but he ends up bumping into his own teammate Inchura on the goal line. So Cryptic flipping past that ball. Maybe a purposeful pass from Spade. Somehow it went middle for Sauce, but didn't quite go through. Chura wants to follow it up, but Excelst's defensive reads have been too strong. Here's an opportunity. Excelst again keeping it out from that blue net. Columbia Navy looking like they are as composed as ever moving into this possibly final game of the series.
It's only 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. You could have said it any better yourself. The pressure is on for Kansas Blue, as Columbia Navy has just been holding pretty steady throughout this series. They've been looking pretty comfortable throughout the entirety of it. They did give up a game, but you know, every once in a while, if you're in a best of 7, you almost expect one game to occasionally get dropped because you just kind of want to play with the options that you have available and see what you can really string together. And Columbia has continued to do that time and time again.
And I will say that I did predict a 4-1 in favor of Columbia earlier on when I did my predictions on that Google Sheet. So I guess in a way, I may have spelled disaster for Kansas as a roster, but they do still have opportunity to move forward. It's only a 1-goal difference, and they have the chance to at least put a second by their name. However, time has not been on their side, as it's going to be Cam moving forward. Chura cuts him off early, though, with Excelst trying to find a pass. It's going to be a free ball for Spade. We'll see what he can do with it. It's going to be Excelst first to challenge. No control past him as Chura gets the beat. Sauce unable to be fast enough, and it seems like Columbia Navy is just outspeeding Kansas here in the final minute of Game 5.
Unfortunately, you can see the breath just slowly being drained from the life of Kansas Blue as that clock continues to count down. Columbia, like you said, are just too quick to handle right now as they are trying to get another opportunity on goal. Right now, Cam is there, but gets kicked away by Spade. Chura with the demo. They are doing everything they can to try to get a last-second opportunity, but is it enough? I do not know. Kansas shooting it downfield, and Columbia right back in their face.
And we have seen them score on 0 seconds a couple of times, and here's the clutch goal again. They were doing it yesterday against Rochester, and they do it here against Columbia today. The clear goes all the way across into the opposing net for Spade, and Kansas isn't ready to give up just yet.
I got bad news. I think we just used our 3 wishes. That's the 3rd time we asked, and we shall receive in the last 2 days. And I don't know if we get many more of those throughout the cast anymore. So right now, it is going to look like it is overtime. And it is, in fact, over. I was like, I'm going to hold off for a second. Overtime, Columbia Navy, Kansas Blue. Columbia Navy looking to seal it out. Game point right now, as Kansas Blue has only been able to take 1 game so far in this series.
Ventura wanted to slot that one on 0 seconds without a doubt, but he just didn't have the boost to catch up to it. So instead, we move into overtime, and we've got a couple of demos coming out from Sauce. He wants to find a touch here, looking for another bump, but this time it's Cam to slow things down for Columbia and keep the whole team settled up. Oh no, Chura going to find the touch. It's a double commit from Columbia, but luckily for them, it's Cam that landed with the ball, and he dribbles it over top of the Kansas Blue defense, and that will solidify the series. It's middle for Cryptic. He slots in the open net, and Columbia is going to take it in 5.
Unfortunate loss there for Kansas Blue, but I mean, in all honesty, we saw what Columbia Navy has put out time and time again leading up to this point, and it was the expectation that we were all expecting to happen. I wouldn't say hoping for, because I wouldn't say it's necessarily what you were hoping for, and I definitely put